Here in Oregon to test drive the new Lexus ES, the 2013 model, which has been updated. Lexus has been around for 20 plus years in North America, and they have a strong following. The #1 luxury brand in the US, not the case in Canada. And in the Lexus family, the ES is the second best seller behind the RX crossover SUV. This is the one car they have to get right. They're going through a bit of a renaissance at Lexus, trying to keep the traditional luxury, smooth and quiet buyers, but also add in a little bit more dynamic feel. And the best way to achieve that is aesthetically. The outside of the car looks better than any ES we've seen in the past. It looks more grounded, it has a stance, it's got the spindle grille in the front we've seen in the GS. It looks like a GS basically, but of course this is a front-wheel drive car. Sculpted corners, a much more masculine looking car than the slightly feminine looking older model. Now available with a hybrid that they've never had in the ES before. So we're here in Oregon, as I mentioned, going to take it around and see what this car is all about.
Well, there's a lot of changes to the new ES 350 that we have here today. First of all, it's on a longer platform than the old generation, so it gives you more interior space. But from when we developed the ES 350, we wanted to really maintain the sense of comfort and luxury that the old car had, and the owners love, the guests that we've had that have the ES love it. But we wanted to add a lot more dynamic from the driving perspective, and I think when you drive the car, you really see that that's been accomplished by the chief engineer. Within the Lexus division worldwide, we have what's called a Meister, Lexus Meister, and his responsibility is really drivability of car. Maintain comfort, but improve drivability. Add rigidity to the body, maintain very strong and very appropriate customer or luxury features within the car, but crisper handling, more taut, rigid stability from the driving point of view. And again, when you drive the vehicle, you really see that it delivers on comfort and luxury like the old, and it's very important for ES, but gives you a really more engaged sense of driving with the vehicle.
The 350 has a 3.5-liter V6 engine with 268 horsepower. It's been modified slightly from the older model. The biggest changes to this car is the longer wheelbase, which typically when you add a longer wheelbase, you get a more refined and luxurious ride. This car already had that in spades. Now, people who like the ES for that luxury ride will not be disappointed. Now, the Lexus engineers also added more high-tensile, lightweight steel. They decreased the weight of this car by 40 kilograms, which is going to improve, first and foremost, the fuel efficiency of this car. They also added in some drive modes. You're seeing this in their other Lexus products. Eco changes the throttle sensitivity and gains the most efficiency out of that V6 engine. You've got the normal drive mode and then Sport, which doesn't change the suspension, just firms up the steering and makes the gear changes a little bit longer. So you get more out of that engine. It really is, at the essence, still the same luxury feel, the traditional feel you get in the Lexus ES. They have tried to make it a little bit more dynamic. Somebody that's coming out of, say, a 3 Series BMW into this car would not be satisfied, but the older demographic that this car appeals to, the slight modifications to the chassis and the way it drives are not going to be alien, they're going to be welcome.
Some core attributes that we really have to deliver on within the Lexus. So quietness, comfort, luxury, all that type of stuff you have to maintain within an ES. And it's very difficult to maintain that, but also add a really engaged driving. But it can be done. And I think ES, when you drive it, you'll see a good example of being able to do that. When we've cliniced the car with current owners, they said to us, yeah, we get that this car is still really, it's what we like in the ES. It's luxurious, it's comfortable, it's quiet, it delivers those things, but it's a much more engaged driving dynamic.
The hybrid system uses a 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine coupled with 2 electric motors. One that mainly provides energy to the other motor and charges the battery. The other one acts as a main driver to the wheels. It's different than the Camry in that the tuning is geared much more towards a little bit more performance, but still providing a comfortable, elegant ride that's really the focus of this ES 300H. The electronic continuously variable transmission, or CVT as we call it, it's different than a traditional automatic transmission. Normal automatic transmissions have several different steps, different speeds that you can try to keep the engine speed close to what you need it to, the optimal kind of RPM range. CVT keeps it much more finite steps between the gas engine speed and the speed of the wheels. So you have a continuous, constant acceleration, much smoother acceleration. You don't feel the jolts from the shifts of a traditional automatic.
The ES has been a huge hit for the Lexus brand, second only to the RX, as I mentioned, and this vehicle really doesn't have a lot of competition. You look at the German manufacturers, they don't have mid to full-size cars like this with front-wheel drive. Typically, they're rear or all-wheel drive and much more expensive, and that's one of the benefits of buying this Lexus. You get a lot of car for your money. The closest competitor is probably the Buick LaCrosse. But what Lexus has been doing over 20 years of making the ES is honing in on the people that buy these cars. Typically older, they like that true luxury feel. They've even stole some buyers away from traditional Cadillac and Lincoln buyers that like that classic luxury feel. Now they've made it a little bit more dynamic looking and slightly more dynamic when it comes to the drivability. It's got a big back seat and it's just as nice on the inside as it's ever been. The fact that they now have a hybrid opens up this Lexus ES to even more potential buyers.